let's just jump into some MVP projections. So right now the top 3 are Giannis, Harden, and Paul George. Right now, if you go on the NBA website, they actually have Giannis as number 1, which is interesting to me because I would put him 3rd.
Yeah.
But of those 3, who would you say is the MVP right now?
I mean, I think right now you have to give it to Harden. He's having an unbelievable offensive season. I mean, by every measure possible. Like, as much as that pains me to say, but the things he's doing are pretty unprecedented right now. He is doing it in a very interesting way. I mean, extremely high usage right now with Chris Paul and Capella have been out for a lot of this season.
Yeah, extremely high usage.
he's shooting a lot of threes, gets a ton of free throws, but I mean, regardless, like it's working for him. I mean, he's averaging almost 37 points a game. I believe almost 10 assists a game. Like he had a great statistical season last year, and it's just gotten even better this year.
Yeah.
But I think honestly, Paul George is giving him runs for his money right now. Paul George has been playing really well the last about 15 games, and Paul George has put himself in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. And so I think if that continues, that could turn things in the end, because I think Harden is a little bit lacking on the defensive side of the conversation. And so when you take account Paul George's defense, it may give him an upper hand at the end of the year.
Yeah, and he's leading in the Defensive Player of the Year category, and just about everywhere you look on every website, they're saying he's going to be the Defensive Player of the Year. His stat line doesn't look as great. I mean, he's like 28, 8, and 4, but I mean that's not James Harden, who's like 37, 8, and 7, like just absolutely going off. But like you said, it's a different usage rate. I mean, Paul George is the second guy that touches the ball in Oklahoma City.
Yep.
And he's still putting up 28 points. I mean, there was an article on The Ringer that basically went through how Paul George is producing like 2013 KD, he's shooting like 2015 Steph, and he's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Yeah. And you look at those facts and you would say, why is he not the MVP? And like you said, you just can't look over the fact that Harden is having one of the best seasons of all time.
Right.
Scoring wise, rebounding, assisting, and just absolutely carrying a team. I could see just the fact that Paul George is the one that's kind of got the more momentum late into the season. Right. I could see him kind of getting and a lot of media members are now starting to say, like, who are the people voting, they're starting to say, like, Paul George is my MVP.
Yeah.
And I see the argument for it. I just think you have to give the credit where credit is due, and that's James Harden.
Yeah. Paul George, I mean, it's been really fun, honestly, to watch him this season. I mean, he's improved his points per game from last year, assists, rebounds, steals, block, like literally every stat
literally
almost
everything.
You look, and it's increased this year.
He's every single night guarding the best player on the other team.
Exactly.
He's every single night guarding the best player on the other team. He is always having to work on both sides of the ball, whereas Harden, you might put him on the easiest guy that gives him, more energy on the offensive end.
Yeah. I just think it's a great story for the NBA. I mean, you have two superstars in Oklahoma City. You have Paul George, who signed a contract there.
I mean, he said no to the Lakers this night. I mean, I literally, when I saw the stat line last night, when it was like, I think it was like 47, 12, and 10 or something like that, and I just thought back to like, wow, not too long ago, he said no to the Lakers, didn't even give him a meeting, and wanted to stay in Oklahoma City, and we were all bashing him for it.
Right.
And saying, what are you doing? And now they're about to overtake the Nuggets. They're like one game behind the Nuggets for second place in the West, and I would argue that they're probably more of a competition than the Nuggets would be to the Warriors, just because of their experience.
Absolutely. I mean, they have size with Steven Adams. Schrader's playing well. And then obviously you always have Russ, who's ready to go off at any moment.
Averaging a triple-double, and everyone's just like, eh.
Yeah, he's about to do it for the third
has, like,
straight year in a row.
Yeah, I think he has 9 straight triple doubles, and it's like not just triple doubles, but it's like my career NBA 2K triple doubles where you get like 15 assists and 18 rebounds, stuff like that.
Yeah, he just got his 10th in a row last night, which like
it was 10.
It breaks the record for the most consecutive triple doubles.
Yeah, and it's not just like by a slim margin. He's always got like way above, and he's like, I always love seeing the notifications like Russell Westbrook has a triple double at halftime.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, all right, rest of the league should just give up at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say that Harden, despite the way that Paul George has been playing, I would say that Harden is the guy that should win the MVP. We both say that, so good that we agree.